guys, so let's talk about monologues. Monologues is a great way to introduce yourself to us and to other casting offices in town, as well as general auditions for theaters. So what do you bring in when you come in for a general, and why do you need a general? So it's a great way for me to get to know you and to get to know your vibe and your feel. It is by no means a way for you to show me your whole range. So when you bring in a monologue, you want to bring in a piece that is close to you, like to the person you are and the person you want me to know. Unless otherwise asked, I would always bring a contemporary piece because it's easy to get trapped in dialogues and accents. And I don't think you should get pieces from monologue books because you get a chunk of monologue with no context of what the whole story is about or what the character is about, and they're overdone. So a lot of people do them, and we see a lot of the same monologues over and over again. I wouldn't pick a piece from a film or TV project that is super well known that we associate Tom Cruise with, or Will Smith, or Amy Schumer with, because we're gonna stop listening and automatically go, where's that from? Oh, I think that's Amy Schumer. And then I haven't listened to you for 30 seconds. If it's obscure, go for it. And if you really identify with it and you can do it well, go for it. Monologues are usually 2 minutes long, maybe 3 minutes if it's super duper good. And yes, sometimes if I see something in you that sparks my interest and I want to know that if you can turn on a dime, or if there's a different side to you, I might ask you if you have something else so I can get a feel for you. Or sometimes I didn't get a real feel for you off the original monologue, and I'll ask you to do one more thing so I can get to know you better. If you're doing a monologue from a play, you should have read the play and you should know the context of the play and the characters so you can bring that to life. Yes, especially if it's something that is current, that's going on in town, or that people know the story. And I don't think monologues should be aspirational to what you hope you could be someday. I think it should be who you are now. If you're, for instance, if you are an improv person and you do a lot of your work on Second City stage, and then when you're asked to, and this happens a lot because I think improv people are so used to just riffing that they, when they're asked to bring a monologue, it freaks them out a little bit because it's not their usual mode of communication. So they'll bring in a monologue that's not funny and doesn't show any of that magic that they have, right? So if you're an improv person, take a piece from Second City. Take a piece that you're working on in improv and bring that to us and show us. It's giving me an essence of who you are and what your vibe is, so I can sort of have an idea of where you could fit. And by no means are you stuck in that. You know, just because you come in and do something funny, I might bring you back for something comedic, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be stuck there forever, because we know you're actors and we know you're talented and we know there are other dimensions to you. But it gives me a start, is basically what it does. Is it gives me a place to start with you and remember you. Even if you're spectacular in the room, I'll bring you in for a pre-read before I bring you in to see the directors. So even if you're magical doing spoken word, I'll bring you back in for another role and I'll hear you read it first, and then I'll bring you into the director. So the monologue isn't everything, it's an introduction. I think something original and interesting, an adapted NPR interview, or spoken word, or something that you've written even, if it sparks your joy, chances are you're gonna bring that into the room, and I'd say go for it. I would say that if you wrote your own piece, that you don't preface the monologue by saying that. And that's only because sometimes people write really personal things, and then once you told me that that's by you, and then you start talking about something super personal, it makes it hard to get immersed in it because it's distracting. So just, you know, I would just keep that part to yourself so I don't start feeling like I'm listening to your personal life, but I would go for it if you've written something beautiful that you want to share. And then after you're done and I say, what's that from? And you say you wrote it, I'll be super duper impressed.